And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln with a welcome to the Racehorse Digest. A busy week of Kentucky Derby prep races, both last Saturday and this Saturday to talk about. Let's start with the richest of all the Derby preps, the $1 million Santa Anita Derby. It's for 3-year-olds at 1 1/8 miles. Here's the field now for this final major West Coast Derby prep. Cavalier from Bobby Baffert's stable on the rail at 10-1 with Hall of Fame rider Chris McCarron. Ali Robb getting support from Wally DeLassie's barn, 9-2. Corey Nakatani. Matty G, sent off by trainer Ron McNally, has Alex Solis at 4-1. EC's Dreams a big price with Lafitte Pinkai. Prince of Thieves, 1 of 2 in the race from trainer D. Wayne Lucas. Shane Sellers has the assignment. Charlie Whittingham replacing his injured Smithfield with Corker. Corey Black rides, big price at 39. Super Mining, the biggest price of all, the only one not nominated for the Triple Crown, is Chris Anthony. And Honor and Glory on the outside, Gary Stevens, that's the race favorite. Dave Johnson now with the call from ABC Sports.
And they're off. Matty G away quickly on the outside. There goes the longest shot, Super Mining. And Super Mining with Chris Antley takes the rail in the lead as Honor and Glory charges up on the outside to challenge a speed duel early here. Honor and Glory with Stevens, the even money choice on the outside with a short lead. Super Mining a bit wide there on the first turn. Then comes Matty G in the red and white colors, tracking the leaders. Racing in third, Cavalier is fourth along the inside ahead. And Prince of Thieves in the red cap begins to close ground, taking fourth now. Cavalier back into fifth along the inside. 2.5 back Ali Robb in the light blue colors, followed 3 back by Corker, and the trailer is EC's Dream. Down the back stretch and a traffic jam on the front end. On the inside, Super Mining regains the lead. Honor and Glory on the outside is challenging. Matty G right there third. Cavalier gaining along the inside in fourth position, and Prince of Thieves is wide but right with the front pack. 46-2 for the half. They move around the turn, and it's still the long shot. Super Mining with Antley holding the lead by a head, but Honor and Glory is ready on the outside. Between horses, Matty G races third. Cavalier looks for racing room. Prince of Thieves on the outside, and Ali Robb has nowhere to go as Corker uncorks a drive in the middle of the racetrack. They're at the top of the stretch, and Honor and Glory with a short lead, but here comes Cavalier with Chris McCarron, and Cavalier takes command. On the extreme outside, Ali Robb is flying, and down the stretch they come. Cavalier digging in. Cavalier gonna win it by a length and 3/4. Ali Robb second, and far back, Honor and Glory finished third.
The 10-1 long shot Cavalier pulls the upset in the $1 million Santa Anita Derby with a great ride from Hall of Famer Chris McCarron. Last year's California-bred champion, a son of Bataneer, is trained by Bobby Baffert for the J. Walter Family Trust. Ali Robb was second to the wire, but placed last for interference. He came out in the stretch. In fact, Corey Nakatani got 5 days for that. Moving Honor and Glory up to second. Charlie Whittingham's Corker third. 7 of the field of 8 are planning to go on to the Kentucky Derby. Well, after the race, Mike Lohman was in the winner's circle, talked to an elated trainer, Bobby Baffert, and a rather surprised jockey, Chris McCarron.
I'm just so elated, so excited about this horse. Just the way he did it, he showed that he could, stay behind horses. Chris did the exact opposite of what I wanted him to do, so I'm glad that I do the training, he does the riding.
I got to hand it to Bob Baffert. He's really thought, he's had a lot of confidence in this horse all along, and I didn't really think he was one of the horses to beat today. I thought he had a chance to win, but I didn't, obviously being 9-1, he was, a little bit overlooked by the public, and I didn't think that was too out of line. I had a feeling if he was going to win this race, he was going to have to improve a great deal, and improve he did. He really ran super.
And across the country in Florida, we were at Hialeah Park for the 65th Flamingo Stakes, the last of the Derby preps in Florida. Start of a big day for trainer Billy Mott as his Alamitos, third choice in the race, pulls away to a 3.5 length victory here under last year's Eclipse apprentice jockey Ramon Perez. Bo Lachie, a $10,000 supplement, was up for second, while the race favorite Will's Way, the unbeaten easy-goer colt, was third and pulled a muscle in the race. Alamonte, owned by Jack Smith, Diane Snowden, and Joe Strout, looks to be headed to the Illinois Derby. We could get one out of this Flamingo field, though. Looks like Tommy Hurd wants to bring Built for Pleasure, the Fountain of Youth winner, on to Kentucky for the Derby. Well, let's see how the weekend results affected the Visa 3-year-old championship points, and Cavalier has jumped up to 18 points right behind Unbridled's Song. While you see the rest of them there, editor's note, vote for pleasure all with 10 points. And now the impact that the week's results had on the future book odds at the Caesars Palace Race and Sports Book in Las Vegas. Honor and Glory at 7, Unbridled Song at 9-5, Diligence at 8, Cavalier goes to 10. The Mono Gucci, the Gotham winner, still a great price at 100-1. Well, quarter horses are sprinting next on the digest. We'll take you to Sunland Park, New Mexico, and then to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and coverage wire to wire of the 50th running of the $750,000 Oaklawn Handicap. The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Association, serving the American quarter horse racing industry and America's horse. By Gainsborough Farm. And by Purolator. To protect your engine, remember, Pure Oil now, Pure Oil later. Purolator.
To protect your engine, remember, Pure Oil now, Pure Oil later. Pure Oil later.
A quarter of a mile between Cigar and a perfect season. But the Epical is game and he's coming right back. The goes to work at Eliza, and Eliza is responding. Here indeed is a superstar. The incomparable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar.
Hi, who's this?
Mel?
What you thinking about, Mel?
Something sweet.
Like what?
Creamy caramel?
What would you like to do with it?
I'd cover it with roasted peanuts.
Roasted peanuts and creamy caramel? Mel, you're making me so hungry.
What you want is a payday. Rent a Blockbuster Video and get your second video rental free with 5 UPC codes from Payday Candy Bars.
Get inside the world of harness racing by subscribing to the award-winning publication of the United States Trotting Association, Hoofbeats. Each month, you'll enjoy news and in-depth features on top horses, drivers, owners, trainers, and major races, all in a colorful, photo-filled format, and all for only $30 for 12 great issues. Call 614-224-2291 and ask to subscribe to the best harness racing has to offer, Hoofbeats.
Quarter horse racing now. Sunland Park in New Mexico will be hosting its biggest two-year-old event of the season this coming Sunday. It's the finals, the $168,000 West Texas Sun Country Futurity at 330 yards. Time trials were held at Sunland recently. Let's take a look at some of the Sunday's top qualifiers. Many of those in the trials are making their first lifetime start, but the number 9 horse, Holland Pass, had already shown he could run.
Got to go. In the trials of the West Texas Sun Country Futurity, and a good start for the favorite Holland Pass on the outside. Oh, Vandy Duck got away well. So did Pick 6, Pixie, and Secret Cash Runaway moving on the inside. But it's all Holland Pass on the outside, and Darrell Blevins. Holland Pass wins it 2.5. Oh, Vandy Duck second, and Secret Cash Runaway.
Careful how you say the winner, Holland Pass. Breezes home in the day's first trial to win by 2 1/4 lengths. She also set the fastest qualifying time among 90 trial entrants, covering the 330 yards in 16 and 60. Darrell Blevins handled Holland Pass for owner Doyle Norris and trainer Blaine Wood. The 5th trial division proved to be the most productive one. 4 advancing to the finals, including first-time starter on the rail, Chicks-a-Lass.
Here we go. Trials of the West Texas Sun Country Futurity. Good start for class winner in the middle. On the outside, Fantasy Memories got away well. So did Chicks-a-Lass on the inside. It's class winner and Refugio now on the inside. Chicks-a-Lass, and class winner, Chicks-a-Lass, class winner second. Photo for show between Refugio and Heavenly Blessings.
Sometimes young horses don't perform their best along the rail, but Chicks-a-Lass handled it very well, winning by a half length, the time 16:63, second fastest of the day. Class winner, Refugio, and 4th place finisher, Heavenly Blessings, also qualifying for the finals. Chicks-a-Lass, owned by Jesus Castro and Juan Figueroa.
trained by Raul Hernandez, ridden by last year's AQHA champion rider Joe Padilla Jr. The older horses were also on trial seeking a spot in the New Mexico Challenge Championship, the first event in the AQHA Regional Challenge National Series. And it was the chance for an old favorite to show his stuff. Watch the 6 treacherously.
There they go. In the finals of the AQHA Challenge Championship. Daily Triple and High Easy Dash away well. Treacherously on the outside, 6 Can 2 and Chicks Red Rock. It's Daily Triple, 6 Can 2 moving on the inside. Treacherously rolling them up on the outside. It's 6 Can 2 treacherously on the outside. Daily Triple treacherously on the outside. 6 Can 2 and Daily Triple treacherously 3 parts of a length over 6 Can 2. Daily Triple third.
Treacherously, a champion at 2, then winless last year, making a comeback of sorts now at age 5. With his second victory in 3 starts this year, his 440-yard time, 21.84, the second fastest. And he showed a nice late kick to win by a length. Treacherously owned by Wayne Dallas, trained by Sam Sandoval, ridden here by regular rider Nancy Summers. She was aboard, as she will be again when Treacherously takes on 9 others in the $40,000 New Mexico Challenge Finals, April 21st. You can get more information on quarter horse racing by calling the AQHA toll-free 1-800-414-RIDE.
You have to want the pressure, the pain, those 2 points more than anything else. If you're going to win it all. The NBA playoffs, 30 nights of pure desire. The playoffs began April 25th on TNT.
The new Miller Beer and Z93 want to send you and a guest to an NBA playoff game. Listen to Z93 for further details. Brought to you by the new Miller Beer.
Looking for an alternative to late-night news?
For duty and humanity.
Well, Porcupines, you've hit the nail on the head.
It'll be a bullseye.
Calling all lame brains, knuckleheads, and nitwits. The hits just keep on coming.
Oh, I can't see! I can't see!
What's the matter?
I got my eyes closed.
It's every Three Stooges episode ever made. Tonight and every weeknight at 11, the Family Channel turns into Stooge TV. It's good for your head.
Basketball women's national team is going for the gold in Atlanta. But first, in a possible Olympic preview, they'll face off against China. The USA basketball women's national team versus China, presented by Nike, Saturday at 2, only on ESPN.
Back on the Racehorse Digest, where the older horses also grabbed some of the thoroughbred racing spotlight this past weekend in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The 50th running of the Oaklawn Handicap will set the conditions for you for the big race and show it to you from start to finish. It's Grade 1, the purse $750,000. Thoroughbreds 4 and up at 1 1/8. The winner's share $450,000. Field of 7 now with Billy Mott training the 2 favorites. Luthier Fever 12-1 on the rail. Halo's Image at 16 has Pat Day. Scott Scoundrel 13 with Ronald Ardwan. There's the Santa Anita Handicap winner, Mr. Purple, trained by Ron McNally, ridden by Hall of Famer Eddie Delahousse. He is at 5-1. Then it's Judge TC at 19, and here are the 2 favorites. Wekiva Springs, winner of the Gulfstream Handicap, a Grade 1 event in Florida. Mike Smith with the ride. And Jerry on a 5-race win streak, 6-5 at Jerry Bailey, both trained by Billy Mott. Here's Terry Wallace with a call.
And they're off in the 50th Oaklawn Handicap, and quickly Pat Day bounds out of there with Halo's Image. Along the rail, it's Luthier Fever. To the middle of the track, Scott Scoundrel trying to show speed. Judge TC has got a good spot. To the outside, Wekiva Springs. Gary is being caught a bit wide, but now Jerry Bailey angles him over to the rail. And meanwhile, Eddie Delahousse takes Mr. Purple back, lets the others go out and set the pace. And it is Luthier Fever who goes out and snatches the lead from Halo's Image, and now those 2 running side by side through an opening quarter in 23-2. It's 3.5 back to Judge TC in 3rd. The Louisiana Invader, Scott Scoundrel, is the rail fourth, 5 lengths off the lead. Wakaiva Springs is next, then Gary. And far back, Mr. Purple going to try to do a Silky Sullivan bit today as they move down the backstretch behind the pace of Luthier Fever and Halo's Image. They have in 46 and 4. Now to the outside, there goes the gray Wakaiva Springs. Just inside of him is his stablemate Gary, and Scott Scoundrel's going to scoot through along the inside. 5 of them across the track as they head onto the final turn of the Oaklawn Handicap. To the middle of the track, that is Gary. To his outside is Wakaiva Springs, and those two now battling for the lead through 3/4 in 1:11. And here they come into the stretch of the 50th Oaklawn Handicap. Gary with the lead, and Wakaiva Springs challenging to the outside. Scott Scoundrel at the rail is third. To the middle of the track, driving back Halo's Image. But it is Gary now who steps on the gas and begins to open up. It's Gary by a length and a half. Wakaiva Springs is second, Scott Scoundrel third, and Gary digging in. The biggest moment of his career, number 6 in a row, goes to Gary by a length and a half. Wakaiva Springs second, Scott Scoundrel third.
Alan Paulson has another superstar with his homebred Jerry, scoring his first Grade 1 win here, 6 in a row. He now more than triples his career earnings to $587,250. Jerry, like his more famous stablemate Cigar, is trained for Paulson by Billy Mott, who also sent out the second-place finisher, Wakaiva Springs, for owners Don Disney and James English. Jerry is son of turf champion Theatrical, standing at Paulson's Brookside Farms in Kentucky, ridden here by Jerry Bailey. Mott says the Oaklawn Handicap winner will likely start next in New York's Met Mile, May 27th. Alan Paulson also had a starter in Friday's $250,000 Fantasy Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at Oaklawn, the official opener to their Racing Festival of the South. It was Paulson's Asina versus Santa Anita Oaks winner Anti-Spent, the favorite here at 1-5.
And here they come into the stretch of the Fantasy. Asina leads it. Mama's Pro moving strongly to the outside. Anti-Spend at the rail trying to dig back for more, but it's not there. It's Asina who has the lead here by 3. Mama's Pro now second. Ski Trail third, and In Reverence trying to mount a big bit on the outside. 4 of them fighting for second because Pat Day and Asina are going to win easily the Fantasy by about 6 lengths. Anti-Spend is going to hang on for second, and Ski Trail finished third.
An awesome performance by Alan Paulson's Asina, knocking off the heavily favored Anti-Spend and picking up the first stakes win of her career for trainer Billy Mott and owner breeder Alan Paulson. The daughter of the late Strawberry Road has now won 4 of 6 career starts with a second and a third. Both Asina and the beaten Anti-Spend bound for Churchill Downs in the May 3rd Kentucky Oaks. Back to Hialeah Park now, the race that preceded the Flamingo Saturday, the 7-furlong Hialeah Sprint Championship. On the lead, the horse with the white blaze and the blue and white silks. That is last year's Eclipse champion sprinter, Not Surprising. He hadn't won since last September when he took the Vosburg at Belmont Park and had a dreadful 0-for-2 start to this year. But his luck changed here. This son of Medieval Man going wide on the turn. Then, as you see here, drawing off to win by nearly 3 lengths under his new rider, Craig Perret. Not Surprising, who's trained by Judd Van Warp for his father, Robert, has now won 19 of 42 career starts, earnings of more than $932,000. Not Surprising, last year's Florida-bred champion, is back to his old form. From Florida to California, from Hialeah to Santa Anita, another Sprint Stakes Saturday. It's the $202,000 Paterno Grande Breeders' Cup for older horses going 6.5 furlongs. The winner lead the Justices in here, but well behind a Bag in One, son of Devil's Bag, a half-brother to the well-known filly Cara Raffaella, who went off the favorite. The 5-year-old shot to the lead early, was never headed, winning by 6 easy lengths on the jockey Gary Stevens. A Bag in One, a bit of a late bloomer, but the Keeneland Sales grads compiled quite a record in his short career. 6 wins in 8 starts for trainers Sandy Schulman and Clear Valley Stables. A Bag in One under Gary Stevens, an impressive winner. Gary Stevens also on the winner in Sunday's feature at Santa Anita, the $79,000 Santa Lucia Handicap. Stevens' mount Verada Slew was beaten recently in her only other start of the year, the February 24th Las Flores. But here in the Santa Lucia, Verada Slew was easily the best, taking command at the top of the stretch, then holding off a challenge from the gray coming on the outside. Real Connection, Verada Slew winning by a length and a half. They don't breed them much better than this 6-year-old mare. Verada Slew is by the Triple Crown winner Seattle Slew out of a Nureyev mare, Breathtaking. Rodeslu now has earned over $568,000 for owner Marshall Napier of 505 Farms and trainer John Sheriffs. Santa Anita also the site of Saturday's $104,000 Santa Paula Stakes, and as they turn for home on the outside, that's Raw Gold taking the lead under Chris Antley. This stake for 3-year-old fillies going 6.5 furlongs. Antley, you see, hand-riding Raw Gold to the finish line here, a 5-length victor over runner-up She's a Valentine. 6-5 favorite Miraloma, trained by Dwayne Lucas, disappointed, finishing next to last. Raw Gold, who also won the Santa Ynez earlier this year, has now been the winner of 5 of her 8 starts for trainer Dave Hoffman's and Ritter Thoroughbred Stable. She's by Rahi out of the Suago mare Golden Thatch. Raw Gold, impressive winner here of the Santa Paula at Santa Anita. Here are results from 2 other 3-year-old filly stakes over the weekend. Golden Gale, daughter of Summer Squall, purchased at Keeneland for $150,000. Was a 2.5-length winner of the Grade 2 Beaumont at Keeneland for her 4th straight. And from New York, Little Miss Fast upset favorites JJ's Dream and La Rosa in Aqueduct's Comely Stakes. The margin of victory not even close. Little Miss Fast taking the race by a solid 2 lengths from the jockey George Chavez. And as we go to the break, here's a look at 2 upcoming races in the Breeders' Cup National Stakes. Because Mike Battaglia has the call.
All in line, and they're off. For the lead, Ensign Ray quickly on the inside. Skip Away on the outside. Diligence between horses. Cimarron up on the outside is next, then Louis Quatorze, followed by Draw and Editor's Note into the first turn. Ensign Ray is in front, has it by a length. Skip Away to the outside second. Down along the inside, Diligence third ahead. Cimarron is fourth. And it's a length and a half back. Through from the inside in fifth. That is a Draw. Also up from the inside, Louis Quatorze and the trailer, Editor's Note. Onto the back stretch. On the outside, Skip Away puts ahead in front, Ensign Ray on the inside. Those 2 now right together. Then a gap of 2.5. Louis Quatorze is third ahead. Diligence is fourth ahead. Cimarron on the outside runs fifth. 2 back to Draw and Editor's Note. As they move forward, the turn, Ensign Ray with the head in front. Skip Away second. Louis Quatorze on the inside, third ahead. Diligence is fourth. Cimarron runs fifth. Then it's Draw and Editor's Note still trails. As they move into the turn, it's Skip Away now getting the lead. Skip Away in front. Draws off by 2 lengths. Louis Quatorze moves into second. On the outside, Diligence third. Editor's Note into fourth. Into the stretch. It's Skip Away in front. Has it now by 3 lengths. On the inside in second, that's Louis Quatorze. Up on the outside, gaining ground, Editor's Note. But nearing the wire, it's Skip Away. Just drawing away from this field. Skip Away, an impressive winner of the Bluegrass over Louis Quatorze and Editor's Note.
An excited jockey, Shane Sellers, as Carolyn Hines' big gray colt Skip Away takes the Bluegrass by 6, does it in the fastest time ever, 1:47.01, a fifth of a second faster than Round Table in 1957. Trained by her husband, Sonny Hine, ridden by Shane Sellers. Skip Away moves to number 2 on the list of Derby favorites behind Unbridled Song with this Bluegrass win. Louis Quatorze second. W.T. Young's Editor's Note finished third. Sonny and Shane talked after the race about Skip Away's winning performance.
Yeah, well, he had a bad trip in the Florida Derby, and I undertrained him for the Florida Derby. I told everybody it was only his 2nd start of the year, and I kept giving Shane hell in the mornings. I said, you're not letting him work fast, even though he's going in 12s. So we got the race in him and put a couple good works in him, and Shane did the rest.
Well, as I turned for home, I really felt it was over. My colt he had his ears up from the backside, and although I was on the lead or close to it, I wasn't worried because he was relaxed with me, and being on him in the morning, I know what kind of punch he's got. And in fact, I was hoping somebody would come to me somewhere down the lane to make him lay his ears down and run.
Carolyn and Sonny Hine will attempt to become the 2nd husband-wife owner-trainer team to win a Kentucky Derby. Catherine and Jack Price did it in 1961 with Kerry back. Still to come on the digest, quarter horse racing from Oklahoma and New Mexico. And later, David Booner with a profile on racing's pacing star, Jenna's Beach Boy. The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the United States Trotting Association, leading the way in harness racing. by Alan Paulson's Brookside Farms. The United Thoroughbred Trainers of America, publisher of the Backstretch magazine. And by Vinery Stallions 1996, home of America's leading freshman sires. Red Ransom in 1994, Farm Away in 1995.
Sweet dream, baby. Sweet dream, baby. Sweet dream, baby. How long must I dream?
Sweet dreams from Doubletree.
Great moments in racing are the results of months of hard work and hope, years of planning and persevering, and generations of successful bloodlines. For nearly 2 decades, Walmack has contributed to some of racing's most exciting moments, with stallions like Saratoga 6, with 27 stakes winners and 42 black-type performers to his credit. Saratoga 6 is by far the leading son of Aladar at stud. At Walmack, we're working to make every moment count.
All right, son, let's see it.
You guys cops?
Poultry police. We got reports this here Long John's, a fish place, is serving tender, old white batter-dipped chicken fillets. It's a unique taste for a poultry son.
59 cents each.
59 cents. Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does.
It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's.
Just put it in the bag. Evidence?
Lunch.
Last year, America's fastest athlete raced at more than 100 tracks in North America for some $50 million in purses. Get in on the action of owning your very own Racing American quarter horse. Call 1-800-414-RIDE to receive a free guide to owning America's fastest athlete. Discover how easy it is to buy at auction, claim a racehorse, choose a trainer, determine cost, and much more. 1-800-414-RIDE is your ticket to owning and racing America's fastest athlete.
Later this month, Blue Ribbon Downs in Sallisaw, Oklahoma will celebrate the 50th running of the Oklahoma Futurity, the oldest quarter horse race of its kind. No less than 167 two-year-olds entered in the time trials, resulting in 18 heats spread over 2 racing days. In the 9th division, all eyes were on Blue Ribbon Futurity winner Dark Kelly. He was back in action in the 350-yard trials, opposed by a highly regarded first-time starter, Streakin' Flyer.
And they're off. Check the Star had a fast start. Dark Kelly was out quick to the inside at Streakin' Flyer and into the extreme outside without remorse. Streakin' Flyer to the inside has the lead. Dark Kelly is second. It's Streakin' Flyer. Streakin' Flyer in front by a length and a half.
Streakin' Flyer draws off to win by daylight under jockey Tommy Bird. However, Dark Kelly will get another chance as both horses made the final. The victorious Streakin' Flyer is owned by Southern Rose Ranch and trained by Donnie Strickland. On the second trial day, Blue Ribbon Futurity runner-up, Buddy Bullion, was supposed to make short work of his field, but Kelly's Triple Dial had other ideas.
And they're off. To the inside, Runaway Affair with a quick start. Buddy Bullion, Kelly's Triple Dial, and to the outside, it's Kelly's First Down. Kelly's Triple Dial has the lead. Buddy Bullion is second. To the outside, Kelly's First Down, but it's Kelly's Triple Dial in front.
Several horses with trouble at the start in this one, including the 2-5 favorite Buddy Bullion, who failed to qualify. However, Kelly's Triple Dial will be back for the $174,000 finals April 27th, along with his owner Dean Delton, trainer Stacy Sherritt, and jockey Dave Brown. While it was trial time in Oklahoma, was the finals in Sunland Park, New Mexico of the Grade 1 West Texas Sun Country Futurity. The big question here, would number 8 be Holland pass the field again?
There we go. In the West Texas Sun Country Futurity, and a great start for Runaway Wind on the outside. Holland Pass got away well. It's Holland Pass now taking the lead. Swinging Val right there, second Gridiron Special. Runaway Wind, it's Holland Pass and Swinging Val. Holland Pass, Swinging Val. Holland Pass wins the West Texas Sun Country. Swinging Val second, photo for show.
Looking very much like a filly with a future, Holland Pass roars by much of the field here to earn nearly $59,000. Jockey Kenny Hart, who won the race last year, had to settle for second this time aboard Swing and Val. The slowest qualifier and the longest shot, Metallico, had the show place. Holland Pass hauled jockey Darrell Blevins to his second Sun Country victory, the first coming 19 years ago. This filly is owned by Doyle Norris, trained by Blaine Wood. She'll now take her perfect record to Ruidoso and point to the major futurities there this summer. The number to call at the American Quarter Horse Association for more information on quarter horse racing is 1-800-414-RIDE.
Ah, springtime, the blue skies, flowers.
And Spring Breakout Extreme at Six Flags Over Georgia. High-flying, hard-hitting spring break fun. Try out all the action, then ride the Big Six, the 6 roller coasters of Six Flags. Don't leave town, because we have the ultimate spring break party. So make tracks to Spring Breakout Extreme, open Saturdays and Sundays through April 28th at Six Flags Over Georgia. Save $5 off admission with discount coupons from Kroger.
Racing? Then try the Blood Horse. The Blood Horse brings you total coverage of the industry every week, exploding with race reports, issues and analysis, features, standings, auctions, hands-on advice, and more. Full of color, information, and excitement. Call 1-800-237-8400 now to order the Blood Horse, the world's leading thoroughbred magazine at the lowest available rate, 2 valuable references, and a money-back guarantee. There's no better way to keep pace. Call today.
Sunday, it is the shortest track on the circuit. To win at the tight flat track of Martinsville, you've got to go fender to fender all day long. The Goodies Headache Powders 500, Sunday at 1, only on ESPN.
Back to the thoroughbreds now, and to those 2 other major Kentucky Derby prep races in New York and Arkansas this past Saturday. First to the Empire State Aqueduct Racetrack, the $500,000 Wood Memorial at 1 1/8. The spotlight on the Kentucky Derby favorite, the Florida Derby winner, Unbridled Song from ABC. Here's Dave Johnson.
Straightening away in the stretch. Unbridled Song in front by 2 lengths. On the outside, Romano Gucci from the back of the pack in contention, and that's where any competition for the horse on the front, Unbridled Song, is going to come from. And down the stretch they come in the wood. Unbridled Song now being roused in front by 2. In contention on the outside. Second best today.
Unbridled Song just keeps on rolling, taking the Wood Memorial with ease and firmly securing his place as the favorite for this year's Kentucky Derby. The son of 1990 Derby winner Unbridled becomes a millionaire with his Wood victory. Total earnings now $1,233,000 from just 7 starts and 4 wins. Unbridled Song, ridden by Mike Smith, trained by Jim Ryerson for owner Ernie Paragallo. The weekend's other big Derby prep, the 60th running of the $500,000 Arkansas Derby, also at 1 1/8. Favorite here, Louisiana Derby winner Grindstone, but he would be a victim of revenge at Oaklawn. Here's Terry Wallace.
3/4, 109 and 4. Czar's Magic is second. To the outside is Grindstone. And to the middle of the track, blowout is coming on. Now Jeweled Road is all done, and there goes Grindstone, and he has taken blowout way to the middle of the track. And it is Grindstone who now has the lead. Czar's Magic fighting back at the rail, and Czar's Magic comes back on, takes the lead at the 8th pole, and it is Czar's Magic on his way. He is a length in front, heading for the Arkansas Derby winner's circle. An upset. The Louisiana-bred Czar's Magic is going to win it by a half. Grindstone second, and Halo Sunshine third.
Grindstone upset by the horse who was second to him in the Louisiana Derby at the fairground, Czar's Magic, an 11-1 long shot in Arkansas. The victory, the first at a graded stake for Czar's Magic, ridden by the veteran Ronnie Ardoin. The gelding, a Louisiana bred, is trained by Brett Thomas for owner and breeder Foxwood Plantation. Now let's see what impact the 3-0 races this weekend had on the future book for the Kentucky Derby. In fact, here's a list of the top winners of prep races for the Derby. Unbridled Song, the favorite at 3-2, winning the Florida Derby in the Wood. Cavalier, the Santa Anita Derby. Roar, the Jim Beam. Skipway, the Bluegrass. And Czar's Magic at 40. Now here's the Visa 3-year-old Point Championship Series leaders. 3 Grade 2 events with 45 points. Unbridled Song on top with 27 points. And here are some of the others, including Skipway, the Bluegrass winner at 12, down to Zarb's Magic, the Arkansas Derby winner with 10 points. We return to Oaklawn now for Friday's highly anticipated feature, the $500,000 Apple Blossom, featuring the champion Serena's Song, currently running second against the recent Santa Margarita winner, Twice the Vice.
And here they come into the stretch of the Apple Blossom Handicap. Halo America tough on the front end. Serena's Song is a half-length back. And in the middle of the track now, Twice the Vice is on the route. Halo America has her eyes on an upset. To the middle of Serena's Song and Twice the Vice now. Bearing down on the outside, picking them up, laying them down, comes Twice the Vice. Halo America to the rail, but it will be Twice the Vice winning the Apple Blossom by 2. Halo America second, and Serena's Song settles for third.
Mr. and Mrs. Marty Weigod's Twice the Vice knocks off the champion Serena's Song on an off track in the Apple Blossom, scoring her second straight Grade 1 victory. As for Serena's Song, whose last start was against the boys in the March 2nd Santa Anita Handicap, she suffers her first back-to-back defeats since September of 1994. Trainer Ron Ellis says that Twice the Vice has now concluded the first half of her 96 campaign. She'll get a rest before pointing to the year-end Breeders' Cup distaff. Another California-based star, a winner at Keeneland over the weekend. It's Sunday's $211,000 Commonwealth Breeders' Cup at 7 furlongs. Burt Bacharach's Afternoon Delights on the outside in the blue silks, shortening up here after 2 straight mile-and-a-quarter starts, including the Santa Anita Handicap. The Richard Mandela trainee came from just off the pace here to take the lead in the stretch, moving past Western Winter to prevail by half a length under regular rider Kent DeSormo. The Commonwealth Afternoon Delight's 7th victory in 11 career starts. His earnings tantalizingly close to the $1 million mark, $999,193, $807 away. On Friday at Keeneland, one of last year's 3-year-old stars, Tahano Run, tried the grass for the first time in the $113,000 Fort Herod Handicap in a mile. He faced some pretty stiff competition, including the top turf veteran, Sand Pit. Here's Mike Battaglia.
As they move forward the turn, Warning Glance continues to lead by a length. Ben Avery on the outside, second a length. Sand Pit runs third. Through from the inside, Dove Hunt fourth ahead. Tejano Run fifth. Coaxing Matt is sixth. Pride of Summer seventh. As they move forward the stretch, it's Warning Glance on the inside with the lead. Up on the outside, Sand Pit is gaining ground. Tejano Run moves to the outside third. In the final furlong, it's Sand Pit. Tejano Run is gaining ground. Now Tejano Run and Sand Pit are right together. Tejano Run gets the lead.
Tahano Run under Jerry Bailey wearing down the more experienced Sand Pit to score by a neck. Tahano Run was purchased for $20,000 at the 1993 Keeneland September sale, trained by Kenny McPeak for owner Roy Monroe. Built by Tahano out of the wavering Monarch mare Royal Run. Well, now let's take a look at the current list of Kentucky Derby possible starters for the May 4th 122nd Run for the Roses. 3-year-olds listed in order of earnings in graded stakes races. And that will determine the total of 20 starters allowed in the race. Of course, Unbridled Song was topping all of them over the $1 million mark. Zarb's Magic winner of the Arkansas Derby. Grindstone runner-up to him, who won the Louisiana Derby there. In Contention, who was a strong second in the Wood, has some money there. This is Diligence from George Steinbrenner's stable, all the way down to Wally DeLassie's Alley Rob with no graded stakes earnings, still hoping to find a spot in the starting gate. The final Derby prep is this Sunday's Lexington Stakes at Keeneland. Big field expected there, looking for dollars in the Grade 2 event, including Prince of Thieves and Jim Beam Stakes winner from Claiborne Farm, Roar. Well, here are some upcoming Breeders' Cup Stakes races.
Between Cigar and a perfect season. But the Ecuador game, and he's coming right back. The goes to work on Eliza, and Eliza is responding. Here indeed is a superstar. The incomparable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar.
At Burger King, we're not your mother.
You'll eat what everybody else is eating.
Because at Burger King, you can have it your way.
I don't know who's going to make it for you.
We will. Like the mouth-watering new Western Whopper, the great flame-broiled taste of the Whopper, plus cheddar cheese, hickory smoked bacon, and tangy barbecue sauce. Another way to have the Whopper your way.
You'll eat it and you'll like it.
Now that's the truth. Get a Western Whopper value meal now. It's only for a limited time, only at Burger King.
You think I'm running a restaurant?
Hall of Fame trainer Alan Jerkins.
We're so busy taking care of our animals and everything that it's nice to know that UTTA is working to help the professional horsemen like myself. I've been a UTTA member for as long as I can remember, and I can't think of another organization that does as much for the thoroughbred racing professional. I would recommend a membership in UTTA for any thoroughbred owner or trainer.
Call the UTTA 1-800-325-3487.
Thoroughbred racing in Illinois is racing with a future. Illinois offers one of the richest breeding and racing programs in the country. The Illinois Thoroughbred Breeders Fund returns more than $22 million each year to owners and breeders of Illinois registered horses. Increased purses plus near year-round racing give Illinois breds the advantage for maximum return on investment. Discover the advantages. Race into the future in Illinois.
Well, to bring you up to date on all the top harness racing action, let's bring in Dave Johnson.
The $100,000 Joseph McClune Freehold Cup Saturday at Freehold Raceway boasted the best field of half-mile track specialists in North America, including Easter Sun Hannah, Riyadh, Misfit, and the California shipper Hi-Ho Silverheel. Sporting a 5-race winning streak, Easter Sun Hannah was sent off as the 3-2 favorite, and he battled with Riyadh early before Misfit charged up on the outside to challenge.
3/4 and 1:24. No track record. We got no world record coming, but we've got Easter Sun Hannah. He's on top of the Joe McClune Freehold Cup field. Riyadh is going to test him far outside. Here comes Hi-Ho Silverheels as they drive for the wire. Easter Sun Hannah. Hi-Ho Silverheels and Peter Wren to win the cup.
Hi-Ho Silverheels was shipped from California priority overnight via Federal Express for $2,500. That's $2,487 more than a FedEx letter. But it was well worth the expense for his connections as the 5-year-old posted the biggest win of his career.
Welcome to the Racehorse Digest as we continue to speed towards the 1996 edition of the Kentucky Derby. Let's get right to the year's final prep race at Keeneland as a healthy crop of 3-year-olds made their way to post in the Lexington Stakes. This is a Grade 2 stake with $175,000 added, open to 3-year-olds running 1 1/16 on the dirt. Here's a look at the 11-horse field. The 1 horse is Prince of Thieves, a Derby hopeful, saddled by D. Wayne Lucas. Pat Day is up. Bud Royale has won 2 races in 1996. The 3 horse is Jim Beam Stakes winner Roar, trained by Shug McGahee. This colt has already won nearly $500,000 in his young career. Nick Zito's entry is Saratoga Dandy. City by Night won $120,000 as a 2-year-old. He's trained by Patrick Byrne and ridden by Shane Sellers. A Fleet Affair is the second richest 3-year-old in the field. He's won 4 of 7 career starts. And Foolish Pole rounds out the field. For the call of the Lexington Stakes, let's join Mike Pataglia.
As they move into the turn, Roar is in front. Now has it by a length. City by Night second. Prince of Thieves on the inside runs third. 2 back, Victor Cooley is fourth. Gap of 4. Moving up from the outside into 5th, Saratoga Dandy. Into the stretch. Roar has ahead in front, but City by Night on the inside. Prince of Thieves in tight quarters with a 16th to go. City by Night, Roar. Prince of Thieves now on the outside. It's Prince of Thieves, City by Night under the wire. Photo for win with City by Night and Prince of Thieves.
City by Night, a son of Slew City Slew, pulls the upset in the Lexington Stakes. Jockey Shane Sellers said he was always in the garden spot and in a position to dictate the race. This colt is trained by Patrick Byrne and is owned by Nancy and Richard Castor. He's now won 3 of 11 career starts. The upset does change the Derby picture as Jim Beam Stakes winner Roar finishes a disappointing third after setting the pace. His trainer, Shug McGahee, has now decided to forego the trip to Churchill Downs. While the Dwayne Lucas-trained Prince of Thieves will be in Louisville on the first Saturday in May, bringing the Lucas list to a record 5 entries in the 1996 Run for the Roses. And in the Federico Tessio Stakes this weekend at Pimlico, Tour's Big Red was looking for his first win as a 3-year-old. The Chestnut Colt rallied from 5th to 1st in the home stretch to win his first race since the Foolish Pleasure Breeders' Cup at Calder last October. The son of Tour d'Or has had some strong outings in 1996, finishing 2nd in the Grade 3 What a Pleasure and 3rd in the Grade 3 Tropical Park Derby. Trainer Enrique Alonso says the colt is probable for the Preakness and definite for the Belmont if everything goes as planned. Here are the latest point standings in the Visa 3-year-old Championship Series with 27 points. Unbridled Song is still leading the way heading into the first Triple Crown event of the year. The only horses making a move this weekend are the Lexington winner City by Night and runner-up Prince of Thieves. These standings also give you pretty good insight into how the 1996 Kentucky Derby picture is shaping up. Here are the latest future book odds from Caesars. Unbridled Song is still the favorite at 3-2. Prince of Thieves, along with Charlie Whittingham's Corker, both at 20-1. And Ali Robb's at 15-1, although he may not get a start in the Derby due to no graded stakes earnings. The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by the American Quarter Horse Association, serving the American quarter horse racing industry and America's horse. By Gainsborough Farm. And by Purolator to protect your engine. Remember, pure oil now, pure oil later, Purolator.
Yeah. To protect your engine, remember, pure oil now, pure oil later. Pure oil later.
A quarter of a mile between Cigar and a perfect season. But the Ecuador is game and he's coming right back. The goes to work at Eliza, and Eliza is responding. Here indeed is a superstar. The incomparable, invincible, unbeatable Cigar.
My last cigarette was 11:52 last night. First piece of Nicorette was about 30 seconds after I woke up. I don't know how I feel yet. Still not smoking. 7 days. Nicorette takes just enough of the edge off the need. I still want to light up, but I don't have to. I don't have to.
If you want to stop smoking, Nicorette gum can increase your chance of success by helping control your cravings. And now it's available without a prescription. You can do it. Nicorette can help.
Harness racing. It's wild. It's exciting. It's huge entertainment. The most exciting 2 minutes you'll ever know. It's not just a horse race. It's action, thrills, jackpots, good times, good friends, great atmosphere, and just plain good old-fashioned fun. The United States Trotting Association says get into harness racing at a track near you.
American Quarter Horse Racing has returned to Los Alamitos Racecourse for the 46th anniversary season. The opening night feature was the Cahuilla Bar Handicap, named for one of quarter horse racing's greatest champions. Favored in the 350-yard test was A Dash of Beduino, last seen running champion Asai to a nose in the Golden State Derby, but this would not be his night.
Underway they go. And comes a Storm and Father Gene. Both started off well. First High Hope and Dream of Secret are all right there, but the one they're going to have to beat, Father Gene and Eddie Garcia. Almar's Secret down along the inside. A Dash of Beduino's coming on fast, but Father Gene got the first jump, and it's Father Gene. Tight for second. Looked like First High Hope was second.
Father Gene, third choice in the wagering proves clearly the best, while even money choice, A Dash of Beduino, checks in fourth after a poor start. Father Gene was claimed for $20,000 by owner Margarita Farias last year and has been moved up the ladder by trainer Paul Jones. The distinction of winning the first stakes race of the 1996 Los Alamitos meeting goes to jockey Eddie Garcia. Another top colt from last year was in action in the El Primero Derby trials as Freethinker made his first start since finishing 4th in the Los Alamitos Million.
Where they go. Freethinker stumbled at the start. Red Hot Rhythm bumped with Freethinker, but still came away with the leaders. Sola Jazz is also right there, but the two favorites begin to dominate. Jitter Secret's trying to come on and make a race of it as Freethinker's going along powerfully. Red Hot Rhythm did not go on with Freethinker, but how good tonight is Freethinker? He's going to win this race easily. Red Hot Rhythm second, maybe first ace down, nipping Jitter Secret for third.
Freethinker rolls by a length and a quarter over Red Hot Rhythm, who actually went off as the slight favorite. Joe Badilla Jr. was aboard to begin his defense of his Los Alamitos and AQHA riding titles. Freethinker is trained by veteran Bruce Hawkinson for Dr. Ed Allred, and these two were just beginning to roll. Allred and Hawkinson also captured the other El Primero trial division with keeps and had the fastest qualifier in the La Primera trials for fillies as First and Proud destroyed her field by some 3 lengths. Another first for 1996 took place at Sunland Park, the year's first AQHA Racing Challenge regional final. Number 2, First Down Laveau, was the favorite, but an old warhorse was ready to show his stuff.
There they go, into New Mexico Challenge Championship. Daily Triple in the middle, got away well to take the early lead. On the inside, blinded by the light, Ducky Fred is running well. Daily Triple treacherously, Ducky Fred up on the outside, and Cooey Cooey. It's now Ducky Fred taking the lead. Ducky Fred and Ducky Fred in a photo between Cooey Cooey and Daily Triple.
The 5-year-old Ducky Fred, who won the Texas Regional Challenge last year, now claims New Mexico. 7-5 favorite, First Down Laveau, finished a dull 7th. Ducky Fred is owned by Fred Wright and Betty Shabester and is trained by Shirley Montgomery. He was ridden to his 12th win and 33 lifetime starts by G.R. Carter. Ducky Fred becomes the first eligible to the $200,000 AQHA Racing Challenge Championship to be held November 24th. For information on racing American quarter horse activities in your area, call the AQHA at 1-800-414-RIDE.
Magical things come from out of the blue when you vacation in Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach. Big beach, big fun. I love this place.
Right now, you're sitting in your living room. I'm sitting on Daytona Beach. Your kids are fighting over a video game. Mine are building a sandcastle together. Jealous? Don't be. You could be here too.
To discover all there is to see and do at Daytona Beach, call for a free Daytona Beach area visitor's guide.
If you hurry, you can have this chair after me.
Daytona Beach. Big beach, big fun.
Auto racing's big name burn up the track at the Bosch Spark Plug Grand Prix, Sunday on ABC Sports.
Let's get back to the thoroughbreds on this week's edition of the Racehorse Digest. We start with Keeneland's Saturday feature, one of the spring's most prestigious contests for 3-year-old fillies. The Grade 1 $500,000 Ashland Stakes at 1 1/16. This race is traditionally used by fillies on their way to the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill on the first Friday in May. Only 5 in the Ashland this year, including the fillies who ran 1-2 in last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile, My Flag and Cara Raffaella.
As they move for the stretch, Cara Raffaella in front. My Flag is gaining ground up on the outside. Now it's My Flag who just blows by Cara Raffaella at the 16th pole. My Flag drawing away Cara Raffaella second.
My Flag runs the best race of her career in the Ashland, according to trainer Shug McGahee. The 3-year-old daughter of the champion Easy Goer will now go to Churchill Downs as the likely favorite for the Kentucky Oaks. Meanwhile, trainer Dwayne Lucas says second-place finisher Cara Raffaella is only 50-50 for the Oaks, while Mackey's conditioner Elliott Walden says his charge is definitely not going. Walden will instead be represented by another in the Oaks, Beaumont Stakes runner-up Burr. To closing weekend at Santa Anita now, Saturday's feature for fillies and mares on the grass, the 48th running of the mile and a quarter, $310,000 Santa Barbara Handicap. Favorite here, Juddmonte Farms, Wandesta.
They turn for home. Oriette on the outside of Angel in My Heart, a length and a half to Wandesta in third. Oriette being very confidently ridden by Kent de Sormo. He knows he's got the measure of Angel in My Heart. Look for Wandesta. She's not there. And Oriette just cantering home. Oriette exuding class. Trots home to beat Angel in My Heart. Wandesta third. Then Real Connection and Table to South was last.
Retiring trainer Gary Jones goes out on top as third choice. Oriette wins impressively here in the Santa Barbara under jockey Kent de Sormo. Jones would also win Monday's San Simeon with Ski Dancer, the final starter of his career. Oriette is a 4-year-old daughter of Cara Leone, who's co-owned by Richard Barnes and Prestonwood Farm. She hasn't been out of the money in any of her last 9 starts. Well, trainer Bobby Franco may not have won the Santa Barbara with Wandesta, but he did come back the following day with a horse named Raintrap to wire the field in the $400,000 San Juan Capistrano at a mile and 3/4. Raintrap, who won the 1994 Rothmans International, coming from off the pace, went for the lead early, something he's never done before, and managed to hold the field at bay, including San Luis Obispo and San Luis Rey winner Winsharp, who made a mild bid but would go home with second-place money. Raintrap was ridden here in the San Juan by Alex Solis for Frankel. The 6-year-old son of Rainbow Quest out of Suntrap is now a millionaire with his victory here. Total earnings now of over $1.2 million. Hialeah was also the host to a turf test of stamina this past weekend. Saturday's 64th running of the $200,000 Hialeah Turf Cup at a mile and 3/16. The winner here, Centennial Farms' Signal Tap, the 2-to-1 favorite who would prevail by 3/4 of a length over Alan Paulson's graded stakes winner, Flag Down. Signal Tap, who's a 5-year-old son of the great Fabiano, out of the Northern Dancer mare South Sea Dancer, is now a perfect 2 for 2 in 1996, having also won the Grade 3 Bougainvillea at Hialeah. Trainer Scotty Schulhofer will return the $390,000 Keeneland sales purchase to New York, where he'll get some time off before the Belmont Spring-Summer meeting gears up. Saturday, a special day of racing in the land of Lincoln. Sportsman's Park was the host of Illinois Day. 6 stakes especially tailored for Illinois breds, all worth $75,000. Starting things off, the mile Peach of It handicap for fillies and mares. The favorite prevailing easily here, A&L Racing's Your Ladyship, who came from just off the pace to win going away 4.5 lengths in front of Annapolis Fan. This Illinois bred, ridden by Carlos Silva for trainer Gene Celio, a duo that's had a lot of success in the past at these special days for Illinois breds, and this year would be no different. The pair also winning the day's final event, the 6-furlong Chicagoland Handicap, with another A&L runner, Major Dandy. This 4-year-old son of Major Luck, also an easy winner for his connections, coming home 3 in front in a very respectable time of 1:10 and 4. Major Dandy has now won 6 of his 13 career starts for trainer Celio and A&L. His earnings now more than $179,000. Trainer Noel Hickey and jockey Robbie Alvarado also won a pair of the 6th Illinois Day Stakes. Mike Henry and Kevin Imhoff's Doc's Dilemma, the winner of the 6-furlong Governor Ladies Handicap for fillies and mares. Hickey and Alvarado also scored in the mile and the 16th Milwaukee Avenue Handicap with the Hickey-owned Classic Fit, the odds-on front-running favorite, who was just able to hold off the Gene Celio-trained Emilio by a half length. And still another 2-time winner to tell you about in jockey Mark Guidry, who won the 6-furlong Violet Stakes for 3-year-old fillies with the Robert Gorham-owned Impulsive Spender. Guidry also took the 6-furlong Land of Lincoln for 3-year-olds aboard second choice Royal Tramp, who knocked off favorite Hunk of Class with a 3/4 length victory. And the Kentucky Derby isn't the only race in town, although this time of year it may seem like it. Here's a look at the Breeders' Cup schedule as we head into the last weekend, separating us from the first Saturday in May. An independent panel of journalists have selected the March Owner of the Month for the Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association. The winner is actually a duo from Florida, Don Disney and James English. This profile of the Owner of the Month is presented by Gainsborough Farm.
Don Disney and James English are two businessmen who own horses together. Nothing so unusual about that, other than the fact that they get along so well in everything they do. But the pair is currently part of a rather unusual situation. Right now, they own one of the hottest older horses in the country, as well as a Triple Crown contender. Their handicap star, Wekiva Springs, might be best known so far this year to the general public as the horse who finished second to Cigar in February's Dawn Handicap.
Well, you know, I've always heard about being the other woman or the other man, and we never dreamed we'd have the other horse. And of course, he's right in the same shed row as Cigar, and now we're the other horse.
But that's not a bad thing to be. Wekiva Springs came back from his loss to Cigar to win the $500,000 Gulfstream Park Handicap. And at about the same time, a little horse named Cimarron showed he could run, winning Golden Gate's Foster City and the $300,000 Remington Park Derby. Both Cimarron and Wekiva Springs, as well as hundreds of others, prepared here in Ocala, Florida at Disney's Double Diamond Farm, a 425-acre facility that underscores both his and English's commitment to doing things the right way. Disney and English have owned thoroughbreds together for nearly 13 years, but their business association goes all the way back to 1969. Since then, they've owned everything from hospitals to football teams, but both will quickly tell you that nothing has brought more fun or enjoyment to their friendship than thoroughbred racing.
Both of us can enjoy the sport. It's a lot of fun to have somebody that's with you, and we've traveled quite a bit in the last 2 months together, from California to Oklahoma City to Hot Springs, and it's made it fun. You can go out to eat. You're dreaming together as you do, and it's when you run second, you're disappointed. But at the other hand, when you get beat by some great horses, as Don and I did the other day, we won $150,000 for second, and we were only sad for a little bit when we finally thought about it.
You know, a one-man show is very tough. You don't have anybody to talk to about problems, and I would say that my involvement with Jim has been the one key thing that's made us all very successful.
Disney and English are used to being in the sport spotlight. The arena football team that they co-own, the Orlando Predators, is an unqualified success, selling out nearly every game while reaching the league championships 4 different times. But there's no doubt what these two men, who were born and raised in the Bluegrass State, consider the ultimate in sport. For them, it can only be the Kentucky Derby. So if Cimarron can win this Saturday's Derby trial and earn the graded stakes money he needs, he will take them there. A lifelong dream realized.
For a guy growing up in Kentucky, I think if you grew up in California or in Oklahoma, maybe winning the Kentucky Derby wouldn't be as big a deal. But yeah, winning the Kentucky Derby to me would be probably one of the highlights of my whole life.
You always wonder what it's like to have your horse walk down that stretch, and I know what it's like to sing My Old Kentucky Home, but I don't know what it's like to have a horse in that race. So it's obviously one of the biggest goals Don and I have.
For more information on how you can own your own thoroughbred racehorse, contact the Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association in Lexington, Kentucky.
Poultry police. We got reports this here Long John's is serving tender, all white, batter-dipped chicken fillets.
59 cents each.
Nobody prices poultry at that price, pal.
Long John Silver's does.
It's the 59-cent chicken sale at Long John Silver's.
When sports cream, when legs are sore, when backs ache, when muscles hurt. Wise Sports Cream, rubbing it in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. Wise Sports Cream, because it works.
Thoroughbred racing in Illinois is racing with a future. Illinois offers one of the richest breeding and racing programs in the country. The Illinois Thoroughbred Breeders Fund returns more than $22 million each year to owners and breeders of Illinois registered horses. Increased purses plus near year-round racing give Illinois breds the advantage for maximum return on investment. Discover the advantages. Race into the future in Illinois.
Interested in thoroughbred racing? Then try the Blood Horse. The Blood Horse brings you total coverage of the industry every week, exploding with race reports, issues and analysis, features, standings, auctions, hands-on advice, and more. Full of color, information, and excitement. Call 1-800-237-8400 now to order the Blood Horse, the world's leading thoroughbred magazine at the lowest available rate, 2 valuable references, and a money-back guarantee. There's no better way to keep pace. Call today.
In harness racing, Dave Johnson made stops in Pocono, the Meadowlands, and Yonkers. Topping his agenda is the George Morton Levy Series Final. Here's Dave.
After 11 divisions over 6 preliminary legs, the George Morton Levy Series finally came to an end last Saturday night at Yonkers Raceway. The favorite in the $180,000 final was Easter Sun Hannah, who was coming off a loss at Freehold Raceway, but looking to win his 9th straight race at Yonkers. With his 5 preliminary leg wins setting a Levy record, Easter Sun Hannah was made the heavy 3-10 favorite. But it was defending champion Riyadh who had the lead and looked to wire the field.
Down the back stretch, Riyadh still leads by a length. Easter Sun Hannah right there, second. Misfit third. JB Stun on the outside, fourth. 3/4, 1:24.1. Around the far turn, Riyadh still leads it by a length. Easter Sun Hannah second. Misfit up on the far outside third. Darth Vader on the rail fourth. JB Stunner fifth. They approach the head of the stretch. Riyadh leads now by a length and a half. Easter Sun Hannah second. Misfit the outside third. Through the stretch, Riyadh in front by a length. Easter Sun Hannah on the rail and Misfit. Riyadh, Easter Sun Hannah and Misfit. Riyadh and Misfit coming on.
Driver Ron Pierce was content to let Riyadh and Easter Sun Hannah fight it out through speedy fractions. And with the perfect trip, Misfit was able to capture his 2nd straight major victory at Yonkers, adding to his triumph in last November's William Houghton Memorial. The 3-horse entry from the Bill Robinson stable was the 1-2 choice of the betting public in the first of 2 elimination heats of the Berries Creek last Saturday at the Meadowlands. But down the stretch, it was All-Star Hannah in front, with only Bingo Hanover posing a late threat.
Final 16. It's LaChance with All-Star Hannah by 3 parts of a length. Up on the outside, Bingo Hanover. As they hit the wire, it's All-Star Hannah in 1:54.
Almahurst Cruiser, dubbed the Monster from Montreal, came into the Berries Creek with 14 wins in 16 career starts. But the 4-5 favorite had his hands full with the hard-charging Paradise Indian.
In deep stretch, an Almahurst Cruiser digging in and hanging on up on the outside, Paradise Indian, but Almahurst Cruiser remains undefeated in 96 in 1:52.4.
Almahurst Cruiser is owned by Marcel Barou of Quebec, and he's now 4 for 4 on the season. All-Star Hannah fared much better than his older brother, Easter Sun Hannah, did in the Levy final. Both horses are owned by Albert Hannah of New York. 1995 Pacer of the Year, Jenna's Beach Boy, trained so well this spring that his trainer, Joe Holloway, pushed up his season's debut. That came on Saturday night in an invitational handicap pace at Pocono Downs. And as expected, Jenna never looked back against 6 overmatched rivals, cutting all the fractions and cruising to a 4-length victory in 1:53.3. Jenna's Beach Boy did not come close to breaking his own track record of 1:51 2/5 taken in last year's Miller Memorial, but his 4-year-old debut was impressive nonetheless, and he'll soon catch up with the best older horses currently racing in the Graduate Series.
So you think you can handle the excitement of America's fastest athlete, do you?
All right, then. Dig in. Hang on. Let the dirt fly. Where else can you have this much fun in less than 30 seconds? Call 1-800-414-RIDE for information on the American Quarter Horse Racetrack nearest you. They come to Hollywood for the excitement, the nightlife, the action, and a chance to be a winner. Hollywood Park Racetrack and Casino. A lot can happen here.
Bring it on! Monte Carlo. It's where the world's elite come to play. The ATP Tour Super 9 Series, the Monte Carlo Open, begins tomorrow at 4 on ESPN.
The Racehorse Digest is brought to you by Brookside Farms, by the United States Trotting Association, leading the way in harness racing, and by the Illinois Department of Agriculture, promoting Illinois-bred horses year-round. Topping our Brookside news is the retirement of trainer Gary Jones. Jones was honored with a special ceremony at Santa Anita on Sunday, and then he closed out his 30-plus year racing career just the way he started it, by winning. Jones retires after saddling nearly 1,500 winners for an 18.5% success rate. And all Gary Jones horses have earned more than $51.4 million. Thanks for the memories, Gary, and enjoy the retirement. ESPN and the Deuce will crank up their coverage of the Kentucky Derby next week with more than 15 hours of programming originating from Churchill Downs. Our coverage will include everything from the Kentucky Derby draw to the Kentucky Oaks, from breakfast at Churchill Downs to all the coverage leading up to the big event itself. When you think Kentucky Derby, think ESPN and ESPN2. That's it for this week. We'll see you at Churchill Downs. Ground transportation provided by Thrifty Car Rental. For reservations at over 1,100 locations worldwide, call Thrifty at 1-800-4CARS. This has been a Winter Communications Incorporated sports presentation.